Now let's start from basketball and has to do with the Los Angeles Lakers. They were in action at the wee hours of today, and it was Lebron James, their talisman, who top scored with 31 points to get them through in that blowout win over the Portland Trail Blazers. That match ended 128 to 109 points in favor of the purple and gold, as they are called, talking about the Lakers. LeBron James, as said earlier, scored 31 points, amassed 8 assists as well as 7 rebounds to lead them through. You also had Anthony Davis with 27 points and 12 rebounds contributing this quarter. Austin Reeves also scored 22 points, a season high for the young man in terms of his contributions to the Lakers, and that's despite the Lakers not having some of their regulars. Looney Walker IV was out, as well as Troy Brown Jr., who were both sidelined due to a sore left knee, as it were, but that didn't stop them from getting the win. Their 6th in their last 8 matches. Talk about a turnaround right there in the Lakers. For the Blazers, you had Jeremy Grant top scoring with 27 points. You had Anthony Simons with 22 points. Justice Winslow with 21 points as well. Remember, this is the 6th successive game that talisman Damian Lillard, also known as Dame Time, is missing as a result of a calf strain. It's yet to be known when it will return for the Portland Trail Blazers, and the loss puts them at 11 wins and 11 losses to the start of the season. Talking about the Blazers. For the Lakers, the win puts them at 8 wins and 12 losses to the start of the season, and let's see if they will be able to get one in terms of a win against one of those big teams. They were taking on the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday, talking about the Lakers, while for the Portland Trail Blazers, they will be taking on Utah Jazz on Saturday. Let's move away from there now and talk about the Boston Celtics. Yes, it was definitely Jason Tatum's night, and it was a great one at that, because you had the Prince of Wales and Princess of Wales right there in attendance. Jason Tatum top scored for the Celtics with 49 points, just 1 point shy of a 50-point mark that his teammates gave to him. Jaylen Brown made a return to the Celtics lineup after missing the last game, and he scored 26 points. You had Malcolm Brogdon as well with 21 points, as the Celtics ensured that it's 5 successive wins for them on this during this period, and more importantly, they've won the 14 of their last 15 games. It shows you the form they are in. They are the most informed team in the NBA this season. And for the Heat, Max Strus scored 23 points. You had Bam Adebayo as well with 23 points. Tyler Hero with 22 points and 9 assists, but that wasn't enough, as they missed Jimmy Butler, their talisman, who missed the 7th successive game due to a sore right knee. So it was a 134 to 121 points loss for the Heat, and that means that they are now 10 wins and 12 losses to the start of the season. But for the most informed team in the NBA, talking about the Boston Celtics, they now have 18 wins and just 4 losses this season. It shows you the magnificent form they are in, and Jason Tatum definitely staking a point for the MVP award, although it's early and you still have so many games to be played as well. Let's move away from there now and talk about the Phoenix Suns. That's another franchise that is doing so well at this time, and Devin Booker dropped 51 points on Chicago Bulls. Yes, it was Devin Booker's night. 51 points right there from talisman for the Suns. We also had DeAndre Ayton with 30 points as well as 14 rebounds, as the Phoenix Suns ran out 132 to 113 points winners over the Chicago Bulls. For the Bulls, it was DeMar DeRozan who top scored for them with 29 points. You had Zach LaVine contributing 21 points, as well as Alex Caruso, the former Lakers guard, who scored 14 points from the bench. But that wasn't enough, as the Suns ran riot, especially Devin Booker, as it were. And nothing beats the joy, the pride of representing your nation at the global stage. Talking about football's biggest showpiece, the FIFA World Cup. And let's start with that, talking about Australia's victory over Denmark. The big news is Denmark. This is one of the sides that were touted as the dark horses by so many pundits before the tournament. And the big question is, what exactly went wrong for Denmark in this tournament? Yes, a year ago you had the Euro 2020 Championship. They got to a semi-final. They had a decent UEFA Nations League campaign, topping the group where you had defending champions France, beating France home and away. And it looks like this is a formidable side that will go all the way to make it count at the World Cup in Qatar. But that's not been the case. 1 point from 3 games, 1 goal in 3 games as well, means that Denmark have finished bottom of that group, a group that has, the likes of, France, Australia, and Tunisia. You wouldn't expect Denmark to finish bottom of that group with a solitary point. So the big question is, where exactly did it go wrong for Denmark? That's a multi-million-dollar question that even the Danes themselves will probably find it difficult to answer. But for Australia, it's definitely a good one for them. Matthew Leckie right there. It was a well-taken goal, it must be said. A brilliant counter-attack as well from the Australians, as they were able, to pour out in numbers. And Matthew Leckie just finished the ball, turning in and out daily. The Danish defender right there before slotting past the grasp of the goalkeeper. So moving away from there, let's talk about Argentina. Yes, Australia's next opponent. The Argentines were in a must-win match, because if they had played a draw, then you would have gone through permutations upon permutations. Lionel Messi missing a penalty kick as Richard Chesney saved that penalty kick from Messi, and there were those who said that was justice being carried out, because it wasn't meant to be a penalty to start with. But the referees thought otherwise and awarded a penalty. Lionel Messi couldn't convert from the spot this time around. Remember, he converted from the spot against Saudi Arabia in the opening match, which surprisingly Argentina lost by 2-1. But notwithstanding, you still had, Mark Alister saving the blushes of Lionel Messi's first half penalty miss by getting Argentina up and running before, you had Julian Alvarez get the second goal right there for Argentina to ensure that they finished top of the group. Poland, at the time, were definitely still on the verge of qualifying as a result of the FIFA fair play, because Mexico were leading by 2-0 before Saudi Arabia's Al Darcy scored late into added time to ensure that Poland qualifies on the basis of, goal difference. You still have several teams yet to pick up their round of 16 spots, and definitely we will start with matches today as well, which will confirm some of these spots. Remember, I said earlier that Argentina will take on Australia in the round of 16. You will know quite well that England will take on Senegal in the round of 16. The United States of America will take on Netherlands in the round of 16. And defending champions France will take on Poland in the round of 16. So today's matches will give us an inkling into the matchup for other round of 16 fixtures. Let's start with Croatia now. Yes, the Croatians are taking on Belgium. For the Croatians, they just need a draw, and they'll be home and dry. Let me run you through quickly, talking about the group stage standings as it is just before the third round of matches in that group. Croatia are top of the group with 4 points and a +3 goal difference. You have Morocco as well with 4 points and a +2 goal difference, while Belgium have 3 points and a -1, and Canada are already out of the tournament. They have 0 points and a -4. So it means that Croatia and Morocco are in the driving seat. Croatia simply needs a draw and they are through. You have Morocco as well needing just a draw or possibly a win, as it were, and they are through to the next round. Let's start with Croatia. Croatia will be taking on Belgium, and the big question so many folks are asking, especially stakeholders, talking about pundits, fans alike, is that what exactly is wrong with Belgium's golden generation? This is a team that is filled with so many superstars playing in top clubs in Europe. They are spoiled for choices. Is it about the manager, Roberto Martinez, not doing enough to get the best of the team? That's the million-dollar question. But Belgium are on the verge of facing an early exit. Croatia definitely would fancy their chances of getting at least a draw against Belgium. A draw for Belgium will probably still not be good enough to get them through the finish line. Croatia against Belgium is one you should watch out for. For the Belgians, no injury worries from their camp according to reports, so it should be a full-fledged squad. But again, the big question is, why is Eden Hazard, the captain of the side, getting a look-in ahead of Lisandro Trossard of Brighton Hove Albion, who has started this season on fire? He is yet to start a game at the World Cup. It's Hazard, and we know quite well that Hazard has not been in the best of form for Real Madrid over the last 2-3 years. So the big question is, are we seeing changes in the starting 11 for Roberto Martinez, or is going to retain his fate with the same lineup that started the last match where they suffered a shock 2-0 loss to Morocco? That's the big question. For Croatia, you expect the likes of Modric, Perisic, and the likes, to get the job done in terms of securing at least a draw. For Belgium, it is a must-win match. They can't afford to get a draw in this one, because there could be permutations in terms of Morocco getting, at least a draw against Canada, which looks likely. So Belgium faces a must-win match for them to stand a chance to qualify. For Croatia, they simply need to avoid defeat, and they are through to the next round. Remember, the Croatians are the runner-up, or the finalist, if you want to call them that, from the last edition of the tournament. Let's see if the Belgium's golden generation still has one last hope, to pull, one last magic to pull out of their hearts, because if they fail to qualify, it's probably goodbye to this golden generation of Belgians. Let's move away from there now and talk about African representatives. Morocco, I said earlier, they got the job done when they drew against Croatia on March Day 1, and pulled up that upset against Belgium, 2-0 that ended. You're expecting Ziyech as well as Hakimi to lead the lines once again. Hakimi from the back, the dashing runs, the great crosses, while Ziyech down that same flank. So it is about the right flank for Morocco. Ziyech and Hakimi down that line, trying to make things happen. Probably Hakimi going all the way down, while Ziyech makes, a look in terms of cutting in to create chances. And we know what his left foot can do. Morocco against Canada. This looks like a straightforward victory for Morocco, considering how poor the Canadians have been all through the tournament. And Morocco needs just a draw to book their place in the next round. Let's move away from there. Now I want to talk about another group and another team that is in danger of qualifying, getting dumped out in the first round, and that's Germany. Yes, the Germans will be taking on the Costa Rican team, and that's a match that has history all over it, because it will be the first match at the FIFA World Cup, the Men's World Cup now, that will be officiated by women. In fact, all of the officials will be women, and that's the first time it will be happening. Stephanie Frappart, we talked about her yesterday, the French woman, 38-year-old, will be the center referee, and she will be assisted, by Karen Diaz Medina of Mexico, as well as, the Brazilian lineswoman right there. So you should expect fireworks. We've seen her at top level of UEFA Champions League games, UEFA Super Cup. She has done so well. You expect her to do the same thing, even on the biggest stage of world football. The big question is, can the Germans get the much needed win that they need at this point in time to be able to at least stand a chance of winning? Again, that will depend on the other match between Spain and Japan. Remember, let me run you through that group quickly. You have Spain on 4 points, topping the group, Japan on 3, Costa Rica on 3 as well, and Germany on 1 point. So a draw would definitely see the Spanish team go through, as well as the Japanese. For Germany, it is a must-win match, and they must win handsomely to even stand a chance.